Hello everyone, welcome to day 5 of our 12 days of Yoga Joy. Our practice today will be focused on the hips. It'll be a gentle practice with some deep hip openers. We won't need any props today, but if you'd like to bring some in, you of course can always do that. Our first pose will be butterfly pose, so bringing the soles of the feet together, holding on to the feet, the toes or the ankles, and just starting out with rocking side to side. Right away, just tuning in, noticing how the hip area is feeling. And then coming to stillness, take an inhale, lengthen up nice and tall, draw the shoulders down the back, and then lifting up through the crown of your head, lifting up out of the low back, pressing down through the knees. Take another inhale. And this time as you exhale, leading from the heart, reaching yourself forward, coming into a fold here. Maybe bringing the elbows to the shins and gently pressing down. Let your head be heavy, dropping chin into chest. Breathing in and out through the nose. And setting our intention for this practice of cultivating or sparking up that inner joy. And so often our hips can be really tight. And as we move through these poses and just opening up the hips and releasing anything that's been stuck or stagnant or sticky here in the area of the hips. And just making the hips feel really good and happy. Happy hips today. Let's take one more breath here. Big breath in, breathe in through the nose, all the way to the low belly, low back. Open mouth, exhale. Slowly coming back up out of your fold. Let's pause here. Again, press down through the shoulders, lift up through the crown of your head, sending the knees even closer to the mat. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Opening the eyes. Let's come into tabletop. And from here, we're going to come into some hip circles. So starting with that right leg, just bring that knee up and then bring it out to the side and just begin to create some movement through the hips here. Make sure that your core is engaged. I want to support the low back nice and strong through the arms, and fingers are spread nice and wide, planting through the palms of the hands. Good. And then reverse your circle. May hear some popping or cracking going on. That's pretty normal as long as you don't have any pain. Good. Let's bring that knee down and switch over to the left leg, or I should say the left hip. And then switching, going the other direction. One more full circle. Very good. And then just shimmy the hips side to side. And now coming into child's pose, a nice wide-legged child's pose. So bringing the knees to the edges of your mat, big toes to touch. Send those hips back, walk the arms out. Keep rooting the hips to the heels and reaching up out of your low back and through the arms. Lowering your forehead to your mat. Getting into the hips and the glutes and the low back here. Breathing in and out through your nose.
And taking one more breath here, make it a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, fill up as much as you can. Slow, open mouth exhale. Beautiful. Lifting your head, and we're going to make our way onto our belly. First, coming into Sphinx pose. So, on the forearms, having the shoulders stacked over the elbows, fingers are spread nice and wide, planting down through the palms of your hands. And then we're going to bring that right leg out to the side, coming into a half frog. So have the knee aligned with the hip and then the ankle aligned with the knee, and give a flex into that foot. Good. Chest is forward, lifting the upper body up. Pause here. Think of trying to have that right hip just sink down. So we're also getting into the hip flexor here. And taking one more breath. Now adding some movement here. We're just going to lift that right foot and then slowly lower it down. So just a gentle, slow movement here, working into that hip joint. Let's take one more. Beautiful. Pause here once again in your Sphinx and half frog. Big breath in, a big breath out. Now you can stay here if you'd like to come into this a little deeper into that right hip. Bring that right palm to your mat, pretty much stacked underneath that shoulder, and then you're going to press yourself up and turn your upper body towards the right and keep pressing down through that right hip. One more breath here. Come back into your Sphinx. And then we're going to lower our head down, stacking the hands. And then as you lower your head, slowly bring that right leg back, resting your head on your palm or the tops of your hands, and then just shimmy the hips side to side. Take a pause here. Coming back into Sphinx. And then we'll do our half frog with that left leg. So again, we want to have the knee aligned with the hip, the ankle aligned with the knee, and then a flex through the foot. Lifting up the upper body, sinking the hips to the floor. And then begin to lift that left foot up and slowly lower it down. Back and forth, making it really gentle. Good. Let's take it two more times. Resting there. Big breath in. Big breath out. And now staying here or bringing that left palm closer in underneath the shoulder, press into that palm to lift the upper body and take a gentle twist to the left. Keep pressing down through the hips to the floor. One more breath here. Coming back into your Sphinx. Stacking the hands, begin to lower your upper body down as you bring that left leg back. Resting here, rock out the hips side to side. And taking a pause, taking a full breath in and out. Lifting the head, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll press back into a wide-legged child pose once again. Notice if it feels any different this time through the hips. And taking one more breath here. Lifting your head, we're going to come back onto our belly, but we're going to keep the legs in the same position they are. So another variation of frog pose that we're coming into. So soles of the feet stay together, coming down to the forearms. Maybe you can wiggle the knees away from one another and trying to press the feet down. Just let gravity support you here, as we want to keep the hip bones to the mat. So we don't want to press the feet down, have the hips lift. Lifting up the upper body, draw your shoulders back. Bring the head back. Notice if your head is reaching forward, bring it back. And I have our affirmations here, so I'll read those while we hold here for a few more breaths. At any time you want to release the legs down, you can. I appreciate the simple joys and pleasure that life offers. I appreciate the simple joys and pleasures that life offers. As I release and let go of stress and worry, I make room for joy. As I release and let go of stress and worry, I make room for joy. Joy is my birthright. Joy is my birthright. Yes, it is. Take a cleansing breath. Release the legs slowly, letting them be nice and wide. Stack the hands. Rest the head here. Take a cleansing breath. Taking another breath. Lifting the head, and now bring the legs in together, nice and easy here. And switch the stacking of your hands. And we're going to come into a belly shavasana. So this is where your final pose is here. So making it nice and comfortable. Let the hips kind of wiggle out, making lots of room for the hips. And letting anything that was stuck or stagnant, sticky through the hips, anything toxic or just that's been held in the hips too long, just letting that melt right into the earth here. And take a big cleansing breath. Really fill yourself, fill your belly up. Open mouth exhale. Soften through your shoulders, through your facial muscles. Just let yourself rest. Taking a cleansing breath. Lifting your head. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Brush yourself up and back, and we'll make our way into an easy seated pose. Good. Resting the palms of your hands on your knees. Lift up nice and tall. Let the shoulders be heavy. Take a cleansing breath here. Taking just a few more moments here to really tune in. Notice what you're feeling in your body. And allowing this new energy that you've brought into the body, that you've reactivated or reawakened through the hips, let that just move throughout your whole body, letting the force of that fresh energy and chi just move out anything else sticky or stagnant through the body, so that you are sparking up your inner joy. Take a cleansing breath. Bringing the palms of the hands together at the heart, bowing your head. I will close with our affirmations. I appreciate the simple joys and pleasures that life offers. As I release and let go of stress and worry, I make room for joy. Joy is my birthright. Take a cleansing breath. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you for joining me for day 5. If you enjoyed this practice, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and leave me a comment and let me know how you're feeling. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click the subscribe button. I'll see you on day 6.